I want to give you a little tour of what I call Consciousness Hub, which is effectively our garden, which is a place where consciousness rises in. And in there, we have lots of different things that are aids to raising human consciousness. First things that we have is nature. As you can probably hear, birds are chirping here all the time, and it's certainly a place in which you can just quietly sit and listen to the nature. Those are parakeets there, loads of them, loads of parakeets in this area. I think somebody at one point let a parakeet free, or a few of them, and they just procreated, and then there's loads and loads of them in this area. We have a trampoline, which right now is in the middle here, and the children use it a lot to bounce on and just kind of, it's really good. Trampolines are really good for the glandular system. They wake up your glands. So if you're having issues or problems with thyroid or things like that, actually probably bouncing on trampoline is very good for you. It's quite far, as you can probably tell. It's quite far from the very bottom of the consciousness hub, aka the garden. So you can get away from the house quite a lot, and as you get away from the house, the bird sounds get a lot louder. So yeah, we're now at the very, very bottom of the consciousness hub. So that's the neighbor's sprinkler over there. And so we have a composting bin at the bottom. We have some woods that are used for where is it? The woods, come on, turn around. Woods that we use for burning barbecue. We have trees here in the back. I also have a punch bag, because consciousness is also about letting out any feelings that you don't want to be holding on to. So interestingly, when people talk about anger, depression, sadness, things like that, I don't really experience those feelings so much anymore, if at all. But still, it's sometimes actually good to exercise anger, and let it out, just as a kind of an exercise, really. So I installed this punch bag as a way of just kind of getting there and just hitting some things, because it's actually quite fun, especially when you don't need to. You just kind of choose to because you want to. So that back area there is also like a place where we can burn things that are unwanted anymore, which is akin to burning the old bits of yourself mentally and metaphysically. So that's the area there. We also do some old traditional Bosnian cooking there, which is this thing called sach, which is like a metal dome that you cook the food underneath, and it preserves all the flavors of the food in there. Now, Consciousness Hub has also got loads of flowers during the time when flowers come into play, and that all happens on the sides there, and on the sides here. And we've also planted some apple trees and other trees. There's another parakeet. These parakeets are very particular kind of characters. So yeah, you see that they're always sort of having their own little chirping sounds. making the chirping sounds. Next door neighbor's garden is also very spacious and conscious. So, bit behind, so you can see here that behind the, maybe it's from this angle is a bit better. So it's about 50 meters down to the bottom. That's where I'm going to be also making a little kind of special hangout, probably like a little cottage type scenario. That's going to be very special studio for production and so on. And then on the back, the front bit here, what you see is now the house bit, the porch, which is also where nowadays I do barbecue here, because the children sit around and whoever comes as a visitor, although these days we're not allowed visitors, but whoever comes as visitors, sometimes we just have like a porch party here. That is sometimes you have like 20, 30 people there, and so that's very cool. We've got some sheds there to store various other things that we have for sports, actually. So sometimes we play badminton in this area, we play tennis, we've got like bowling balls for playing like lawn bowls. So that's our house there. And this particular set here, for sitting, can sit easily one, two, three, six, 7 people. Then we've got other chairs that people can sit on. Sometimes during the summer, people like to sit on the floor, on the grass. It's all kind of quite warm here. Certainly warm welcomes mentally, and also warm during the summer when the sun comes out. And we've got the sun actually, it rises up in that area there, and then it sets behind this other house here. Pretty much sunshine is throughout the day. And also we're now installing these bird feeders as well, to even bring more of the birds in here. The birds that come into the consciousness hub are some of the most exquisite birds that you can find in UK, actually. One of them being green woodpecker. And green woodpecker comes in the mornings, usually when everything's kind of really settled down and quiet, and there's no kind of people noises at all around, because those birds are very, very easily scared. And green woodpeckers only feed on red ants. So you see them kind of come into this bit of the grass there, because the ants are there around the perimeter of that porch area, and they come down and they land on the ground, and they go, and they get all these like little green red ants, and then they go up to one of these big trees behind, like this one here, and other big trees that are behind in that area, and beyond, like those big trees, they have their little nests there. um, so there's lots of grass area in the consciousness hub. And this is where I'm planning, certainly when everything's kind of settled down again a little bit, I'm going to be doing some meditation workshops and self-help workshops in here, and invite people from local area to come along, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, maybe a few times a month, we'll see. And organize some also concerts in here for acoustic musicians, and generally just eating healthy food and living a healthy life. So I think I was way overdue to give this little kind of tour of the consciousness hub. um, there is actually also front area that's worth showing at some point. But this is a very kind of special, secluded, private, secret hangout that whoever's been here has actually had mental upgrades happened to them, and they have very fond memories. So we're looking to expand that a lot more now. There's the sun shining even at the sort of end of the day, which is really beautiful, of course, for vitamin D and topping up on those kind of essential minerals that we all need. So yeah, that's a little tour of Consciousness Hub, and there we are.